Hello and welcome to episode 1 of a series of conversations with EAR. That's Energy Aware Runtime, exploring why energy, not compute, is becoming the biggest constraint on AI's growth. So I'm your host, Francis Roberts, and I'm joined here today by Luigi. Luigi is EAR's CEO and co-founder. So before we get into things, Luigi, would you like to give us a quick introduction?
Yeah, thank you. So before founding EAR, I've been working with IBM and Lenovo for many years on cooling problems, power performance problem issues, and that's why I came to create EAR, to solve these problems.
So we've got some questions lined up that Luigi's going to answer. And the first one is, why is energy the new bottleneck in computing? And how did EAR come from solving that problem?
Yeah, over the last 10 years, the power consumption of CPU have increased by a factor of 3.5, and the power consumption of GPUs have increased by a factor of 5. What we see currently now is GPU of 1000 watt. And with Vera Rubin, it will go up to 2 kilowatt. So the time where we were able to double the number of transistors at constant power is over. Now it looks like the GPU power will double every 12 to 18 months. So how do we face that? I came to this problem a few years back when I was working on the Power 7 processor with IBM. It was already a 200 watt chip. Looking at the workload performance, workloads were not using efficiently all resources of the chip. So we came to think what to do about that. And there was two potential solutions. One is to increase the resource utilization, making greater performance at moderate power impact. That means decreasing the energy. And the other was to compromise performance and power using frequency throttling. And that was the beginning of the energy optimization. And that's what inspired me to create EAR.
Well, thanks very much for answering that one, Luigi. And we're going to move on to the next question, which is, why does EAR bet on software and not just companies investing more in GPUs?
Yeah, it's true. Software is usually considered as secondary. But with AI demanding at a very, very growing fast, obvious solution to buy more GPU is becoming difficult because of several problems. One is GPUs are more and more expensive. Second, memory and GPU are on high demand. Then the power line feeding the data centers cannot be extended quickly. And the cooling of the data center is also limited by the equipment you have, cooling towers, chillers, and so on. So many data centers are stuck with their current resources. And the question is, how do you get more performance per watt or more performance on the same infrastructure? And that's why EAR is about.
Is this AI energy crisis a new thing, or did HPC already solve this years ago?
Top 500 has been ranking twice a year the HPC supercomputers. And if we look at the number one on this list, the power increased by a factor 3 over 10 years, from 15 to 40-something megawatt. It's still very low compared to AI factory where we talk about 100 megawatt or 1 gigawatt. Moreover, HPC has been evolving at a slow pace. Programming models have been changing very little, OpenMPI, schedulers, Slurm, applications, classic CFD or whatever. So little change or slow change. While with AI, things are much more dynamic at all levels. And the number one input is the great demand, the huge demand coming from AI, with inference, with AI agentic. So even if the problems are about the same, with AI, they are much bigger and coming much faster, and stakes are high.
What does performance per watt really mean for a business?
Yeah, performance per watt is a new way to measure efficiency. By optimizing performance per watt, you can find two solutions. One is at constant power budget. Then if each token needs less watt, then you can produce more token with the same power envelope. The other way around, at constant performance, your system would consume less power and you will get a lower energy bill and lower CO2 emission. So from a business aspect, performance per watt can optimize the CapEx, like bringing more GPU for free, and can optimize the OpEx also. And from an ecological perspective, it means better usage of your resources, less CO2, less water consumption.
Cool. That makes a lot of sense. And thank you for answering that one. So the next question is, how does EAR turn sustainability into a competitive edge for businesses?
Yeah, as I said, optimizing performance per watt is key to meet both business and ecological goals. Let's go a little bit more in the details of what EAR can bring. With EAR Analytics, you can increase the throughput of your system at constant power budget. With EAR Optimizer, you decrease the energy consumption by finding the best compromise between performance and power. And last but not least, with EAR Smart Power Cap, EAR will adjust dynamically the performance of your system to the changing power capacity depending on the electricity price, the amount of green electricity available, the outside temperature which could impact the cooling of your system, so on and so forth. So, with EAR, you can create an agile data center, adapting dynamically its performance and power to your business needs and the environment.
Cool. That makes a lot of sense also. And the final question we have is, what is your boldest prediction for the AI race? And is EAR's ultimate legacy?
As we have seen, AI growth will be limited by power, no doubt. But the environmental pressure will also increase because of the CO2 emission and water restrictions. So some way exists to reduce or adapt to the power curve. You can build new data centers with being more modular. You can use newer chips like inference chips only, which will consume less power than GPUs. You can have new models like less power hungry models or new serving engine, which will do a better job at adjusting the power and the SLA. My prediction is a combination of all the above is needed to face the power challenge we have. About EAR legacy, here is the dream I had before I created EAR. The goal is to enable a new billing paradigm. Instead of providing users time, which means GPU hours or token budget, let's provide them an energy budget in kilowatt or joules. This way, the people will be motivated to care about their energy efficiency and footprint. And this exists. It's a software tool, which is EAR, and it's flexible, it's dynamic, and it's quick to install.
Thank you so much, Luigi, for sharing your insights. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And to be sure not to miss the next episode, please give us a follow or a subscribe. Thanks very much.